This video is about taking notes using Google Slides. So underneath research paper, you're going to see an assignment that says notes. It has an attachment that says notes. If you click on that, you're going to come to these note cards right here. I already have them formatted with your source number, your topic, and where you can put your notes. So I've got 6 of them already here for you. If you want to make another one, you add note cards, you're going to left click. Make sure that you're clicked on this over here where it says 1, left click, and then hit duplicate slide. And it'll add another slide. So just click on the slide on the left, left click, and hit duplicate slide. Make sure you do that on a blank one, because if you do it on one that you've already filled out, it'll duplicate everything that you filled out in there. You don't want to do that. All right, source number, what does that mean? So if I go into resources, your sources right here, here's where you're supposed to have copied and pasted your sources, the address for those. So let's go ahead and let's say that I'm working on St. Patrick. And I want to Google search for St. Patrick and find a source. Let's see, history.com, that looks good. Pull this up, make sure I can find an author. We don't want to use sources that don't have authors because we want to be able to cite that. History.com, editors, that'll work. I can use that. Okay, so he is the patron saint of Ireland. It is one of Christianity's most widely. Why is that playing? Stop. Okay. Alright, so if I do want to use this as a source, right now all I'm going to do is copy and paste this URL at the top of the page. So I'm going to left click it, it's going to turn blue, and I'm going to hit Control C to copy. And then I'm going to go back to my source page, click on here, and then hit Control V. No, that's not what I wanted it to do. Try it again. Undo that. Okay. Control C. That should have copied it. And then go back to my sources. Control V. There it is. All right. So that made a link that I can click. So when I click on that, it's going to pull up this page, and I can go to it by clicking it, and it's going to pull the page back up. So I can always go back and find that. All right, and I'm going to number that source as number 1. So I'm just going to put a 1 in front of that. Okay, so there's my source number 1. Now if I want to find another source, I can go back to, whoops, I got a lot of tabs open here. There we go. Sorry about that. We can't use Wikipedia. Remember that. That won't work. Biography.com. That will probably work. Let's see what this one says. Do we have an author? Quick facts. Quotes. Ooh, we could use a quote from St. Patrick. That looks good. Want to have some primary sources. Missionary work. This has a lot of stuff here. Aha, citation information. So this is what I'm looking for. I want to make sure that I can cite that. I wish that it wouldn't play videos while I'm trying to make a video.
Who's that? Alone.
Pause that. And pause that.
And I can file for free.
Is my son still a dependent if he eats my food?
File a simple return for free. Now with advice from a TurboTax Live.
Pause that. They had 5 videos going on here. So be careful for ones like that. But this one does have a lot of information. And when I scroll down to the bottom, here is my citation information. So I can use that. Biography.com. All right, so that's all the information I would need to cite this. So if I'm going to use this as a source, I'm going to copy and paste this URL. So click up at the top of the page, hit Control C to copy, go back to my sources. Okay, enter. I want this to be source number 2, and then Control V to paste that on there. Okay, so if I'm pulling something from source number 2, so I'm on source number 2, and let's say that I want to use this quote right here. And remember, there are 3 different kinds of notes: direct quotes, and then there are paraphrases, and there are summaries. All right, so I'm going to highlight all that. Let's see if I can get it to highlight here. Highlight all of that, then hit Control C to copy it, and then I'm going to go back to my notes, and this is going to be from source number 2. So I just want this to say 2 up in the corner there, and then I'm going to hit Control V to paste that. If I have any worth, it is to live my life for God. I'm going to put this under, let's see, what was my topics here on my working outline? Missionary work, return to religious training. That's what I'm going to put that under. So I'm going to go to my notes, and for my topic, I'm going to put okay. So there is my first note. Except I'll put it on to slide 2. That's okay. Doesn't matter what slide it's on. All right, let's say I want to copy something else. So, the man who accompanied Noah was captured by pirates as a child and brought to Ireland. During his enslavement, he was called to Christianity and escaped his captors after 6 years. Okay, so this one, I'm just going to do a summary. I'm going to put this one on my notes. And this is going to be early life. And this is from source number 2. All right. Captured by pirates. Actually, I'm going to put when he was a child. Okay. And this is just a summary, so I'm not going to have to do this word for word. Let's see, where was I? Escaped after 6 years. Combined with her. Alright, early life. The man who was born in 386 AD. So I'm going to put this one here too. I'm going to put it above that. Okay, so why did I just type this instead of copying and pasting it? Well, this one I copied and pasted because it already has its quotation marks on there. It's a direct quotation. You can copy and paste those. This one, I'm typing it. This is just a summary. Let's do a paraphrase. So a paraphrase, I'm not going to copy it directly. I'm going to use the author's ideas, but I'm going to put it into my own words. So, okay, so let's try this part. So surprisingly, Patrick himself was not raised with a strong emphasis on religion. Education was not particularly stressed in his childhood either. Later in life, this would become a source of embarrassment for the spiritual icon, who would write in his Confessio, "I blush and fear exceedingly to reveal my lack of education." Okay, so Patrick was not raised with a strong emphasis on religion. Education was not particularly stressed. So I'm going to use that part. And I'm going to use this author. So I would say something like, according to biography.com, Patrick was not, I'm not going to say the exact same words. I'm going to use my own words. So he was, let's see, during his childhood, he did not have a strong, let's say his family. His family did not put we don't want to say did not put a strong emphasis because that's what the words that they use. So let's look at it again and see if we can find a different word. Stressed and emphasis are the words that they use. So I want to find a synonym for that. So I could just go to a new tab and type in or strong emphasis. You can use this a lot. Just look up synonyms. Strong emphasis in particular attention. That's pretty good. Special focus. Great importance. Great importance. I like that one. Okay, so during his childhood, his family did not see education or religion as something of great importance. So I use their ideas, but I put it into my own words. Okay, so this is going to be childhood. That's telling about his childhood, and this is from that same source. 2. Alright, so that's the basics of how you're going to do that. You only want to put one actual note on each thing. That way you can move these around later. So you can grab it over here and move that slide to wherever you want it to be. So if you want the stuff at the beginning of your essay to be on the top, move that up to the top. And then you move your other stuff down. You can move them any place you want to. Alright, and remember to copy one of these blank slides that's already formatted for you. You're going to left click it, and then you're going to push duplicate slide, and it'll make another one for you. All right. If you have any questions, just message me.